Hi there, in this video I'm going to be showing you how you're going to be able to manage your data inside of your automation workflows. Now the first thing we have here is some triggers and some actions underneath of here. All of that have came from applications added to your account. Now the first thing we have here is we're going to create a new trigger, so we can take one from here. Let's say price updated. You can go ahead and save this trigger. Just add a filter. And then once we've got this, we can then move down over here. Now we've got another action. Now for this input name, what you're going to be able to do is like how you can access any of the custom values, but now you can access the actual custom values of the actual application. So you can see here, Stripe for workflows, and we have a Stripe action up here. So if we come here to Stripe for action, we can see we have the price updated, the one that we the Stripe customer created. And if we go into here, we can access all of the data of these triggers. Now, if we come down to the create task, what we're going to be able to do is not only access the data of the trigger, but we're also going to be able to access the data of that action. So that action there on a create job queue comes from an app called ServiceMate. And from here, we can create the job queue and then get the data from this. Now, this means that any additional actions that you might add to the workflow, let's just pick one at random, there we go, we're then going to be able to then access now the create task. So the create task comes from a ClickUp action. Here we can see create task number 1, and here we can see create task number 1. And if we click onto this, we can then see all of the data that comes from that action. So every following action, every following thing that we do from here, you're then going to be able to access the data from above inside of it. Now this works with all of the native actions as well. So we could come here to create contact. We could go ahead and say we're going to do the first name. This came from Stripe. And we can go ahead and access the Stripe information just from here. Okay, so then we can grab the name from the Stripe customer from the Stripe event happening. So it works with all native actions, all native triggers. It all works together, just added applications, added actions, added triggers. You're going to be able to manage all the data managing through this, and it's very simple to do. Now, there is one rule that you might want to actually take a lot of notes around this, and I'm going to try and give you the best example. Let's say that I wanted to do a action like update an opportunity. Now, when you need to run this action, what you're actually going to be able to do is run this against a contact. But right now, if we had the custom trigger run, there is no contact within inside of this workflow that's been referenced so far. That would only come from, say, something native here, where we have a native trigger. Native triggers are all the ones we have up here. All the yellow ones are going to be custom triggers. Okay, so all these yellow ones will be custom. Now, if a yellow one or a custom trigger triggers, that means that there is no contact moving through the workflow. So these actions won't take place. So say for an example, we have the Stripe customer created action. We can now do a create contact action, and we can create the full contact if we want to, if we need to. But what you're also going to be able to do, like how I showed you from earlier, is now grab the information of, say, the email, which is a main identifier, an email or a phone number. And now if we save this action, the update or create opportunity will take place because we've now referenced the actual contact that it's going to take place for. So workflows work with kind of two directions. One that is data that has nothing to do with contacts, and data that has things to do with contacts. And if you are going to want to reference a contact in the middle of something after you've had data that's having nothing to do with a contact, you're going to need to make sure that you create the contact to be able to get full effect of your workflow automations.